What's up, Niner fans? My name is JT Magnum, and this is Niner News. And I'm sorry that I haven't been on for a while. I lost power for a while because of these crazy storms going on here. I've had transformers knocked out, basically, and they had to replace them, and it just took a while. I had internet gone because of these storms, the internet going in and out because of the storms. I haven't been able to make much videos or do anything or do any editing. It's been kind of sucky, but anyways, I'm back. And I want to get into a little bit about the 49ers, what happened over the last week or so. Andy Lee being traded and Anthony Davis retiring. The funny thing is, when Anthony Davis retired and Andy Lee got traded, it just seemed like all of a sudden it was the end of the world. We're talking about a freaking punter, first of all, a punter. I know Andy Lee was a Pro Bowler. I know he was really good. But did you see who the 49ers drafted? All 6'5" and 230 pounds of them, who blast balls in the air. His hang time, I've heard in practices, is just ridiculous. Why not? Why would you sign Andy Lee, who's about to make like over $2 million this year? Or why would you keep Andy Lee when he's going to make over $2 million this year, $3 million the next, and $4 million the next after that, when you got a guy who's making less than $500,000 per year? And he's younger and he can boot the ball just as hard as Andy Lee. And on top of that, he can do kickoffs. And on top of that, he can punt very well. I mean, that's a no-brainer, guys. People acting like the punter's gone, so now they're really going to lose every game. Like, the punter. I mean, people were panicking. And when Anthony Davis retired, oh my goodness, it became like everybody started racking on the 49ers. Even ESPN has been completely down on the 49ers, except for Adam Schefter. Thank God for him the other day, saying, what the 49ers were going to be doing in the future and how this roster is not as bad as everybody thinks. Including Mike Sando, who said the same thing, wrote an article about that. But Mr. Paul Gutierrez, who loves to just hate on the 49ers. Well, mind you, this is a 49ers reporter for ESPN. But yet, he can never write a story without throwing a jab in there about how the 49ers lost this, lost that, and how they're going to overcome this. And this guy is this. I mean, I read an article today. He's talking about Trenton Brown. And all he had to say was how he was overweight. But never mentioned the fact that he lost 50 pounds and he's down to 350. He ran an amazing 40 time for a guy his size. And then on top of that, didn't even mention, that the guy was a promising talent for the 49ers and might actually end up starting at right tackle if, he beats out a guy like Eric Pierce or Boone, whoever's going to end up sliding to that spot, manned by Anthony Davis. But yet he fails to mention these things. He fails to mention the depth still that we do have on the offensive line and how good some of these guys that are coming back from injury are and how good they could be. And, Anthony Davis didn't play that much last year. When he did play, yes, he was a little effective, but he's not a good pass blocker. We have guys on the team now that can pass block as well as run block. So, it baffles me that a guy could write for the reporters and not know what the team's salary cap is, not know about the team's players that are sitting on the bench, complain about how the 49ers didn't draft a cornerback, yet didn't realize that they drafted 4 the year before. Like, how do you overlook these things? How do you forget? How do you not report on the 49ers the truthful way? Like, it just makes no sense to me. But anyways, if you guys have come over from ESPN, I've left links on ESPN.com, their blog site on the 49ers, for people to come over here and look. If you've come over here and this is your first time, welcome. I don't rack on my team. I love my 49ers. I know you guys do too. That's probably why you've come over here. And I'm not a guy. I'm going to give you the truth. I'm going to give you the truth of how I feel. I'm going to give you the truth of how I feel about the roster. I might not be 100% correct all the time, but at least I'm optimistic. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, he retired and, basically everybody became Chicken Little, which was the sky was falling. So it's just stupid, guys. Listen, this 49er team, these so-called analysts, who say that the 49ers are going to suck this year, they're horrible. These so-called experts that say that the roster is depleted. These were the same guys, look it up, last year, who said the 49ers, last year and the year before, 2012, 2013, 2014, some of 2012, 2013, and 2014, said the 49ers had the deepest roster in football, minus the Seahawks. The deepest roster in football. So, how did 1 year go by and just a few retirements And I mean, I know it's unprecedented, 4 retirements in like 1 year or something, but still, a few retirements, guys that have stepped up last year and played well, and still this team went 8-8. Minus Cap not doing well because of a Greg Roman whose sorry self couldn't figure out how to manage a game. Jim Harbaugh, who lost it on occasions and just didn't have, like, it just wasn't him all year long. Too much distractions going on. And Vic Fangio, who did a great job of the defense, but never plays the young guys unless he absolutely has to, but, you know, given an injury, which happened last year. And these guys stepped up. Go figure. But they only got their chance because of injury. It's like this guy would never play anybody that's new. Besides like Eric Reed, who started the whole year as a rookie. That's the only guy I've seen start as a rookie. I mean, Aldon Smith didn't even start. Look at the talent he is. And he was on the bench. Like, what are you doing? So anyways, the Niners have a new coaching staff. They have some guys that are up and coming and some guys that have been in the league a long time. And everybody forgets. They just think that Harbaugh's gone. He took his staff and that all of a sudden everybody's going to suck. You know, just because who is this coaching staff? I don't even know who these guys are. I don't even know who this is. And I don't even know who that is. Let me tell you something. Greg Cosell, he's the executive producer for NFL Films. He used to be an NFL analyst. He had this to say about the coaching staff. And listen carefully. So I think that's what they'll probably do. A new staff always does things differently. And that's another thing I think is absolutely worth mentioning, Joe. Particularly on the defensive side of the ball, Eric Mangini is a defensive coordinator. They have 2 other defensive coaches now who were coordinators in this league, Jason Tarver and Clancy Pendergrass. And they've been successful coordinators. So this is a coaching staff that I think very, very good and being overlooked. Even offensively, Chris Forrester, the offensive line coach, is widely regarded as one of the most respected in the league. So this is a high level coaching staff, and I think that's something that people need to be aware of because it's not being talked about enough. That's one guy who's, you know, there's no bias there. And he's basically looking at the staff saying, this is a good coaching staff. Jim Tomsula is an amazing defensive line coach. He's an excellent motivator. He's a good coach. People don't know it, because, you know, he's only coached 1 game in his NFL career, like a head coach. But this guy is a widely respected guy. Just because he didn't get any interviews doesn't mean he's not a good coach. How many guys have you seen in the NFL over the years become great coaches and nobody knew about them beforehand? You think Bill Walsh was regarded as one of the most sought-after coaches when he came into the league back in 1977 or whatever year he came to the 49ers? I believe it was 77 or 76. Do you think he was regarded as one of the best coaches ever? No, he had to make his mark. He was a genius in the making, but nobody knew that. Everybody was probably second-guessing it. But still, you know, it's unbelievable how the people think, or how people think and how people act when things go wrong. You know, you're a 49er fan. You shouldn't be doubting the team. You should be uplifting and optimistic about your team. Anyways, that's all I got to say for now. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this team. I think they're going to be fine. I think there's a lot of talent on this team left. I think there's a lot of guys that are going to step up. I think there's a lot of veterans still that are going to carry this team, a la Navarro Bowman, Darnell Dockett, who, don't forget, was an all-pro, Pro Bowl defensive tackle, defensive end for the Arizona Cardinals, who's coming back, and he's coming back hungry. This is a guy that loves to play football and can play. Glenn Dorsey's coming back. There's a lot of guys in that defensive line that are young and up and coming. This team is gelling, or gonna gel, and the team is gonna be good. I don't know how good they're gonna be, but I don't think they're gonna be 4-12 like everybody says, or 5-11 or 6-10. So we'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think about these so-called fans that basically scream the sky is falling when things go wrong. And let me know what you guys think about Paul Gutierrez, who's an idiot. And let me know what you guys think about everything. Oh, and go to NinersNation.com. If you want some good Niner news and insight, go there. They always write great articles. 49ers Gab is a good person to follow on Twitter. 49ers Hub is another person, a good person to follow on Twitter. I'll leave all those links in the description if you want to go check these people out and check out some of these podcasts and things like that people do. It's always great to hear positive people that speak on the 49ers. So if you're a Niners fan, feel free to do that. I'll leave all links in the description. And that's it. So for JT Magnum Niner News, I'm out. Peace, y'all.